The new MOTU Thundercats crossover has maybe gone from a want to a need. We're going to talk about that on this episode of Geek Dad Life. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Life. It's your host, Jay Glatfelter here. And this is kind of an impromptu episode that I didn't expect to make because we finally have our first images of the new MOTU Origins, Masters of the Universe Origins, Thundercats crossover. An article was posted today in the Toy Book, and it had our first look at these figures. And I gotta be completely honest, I was not expecting like the level by which they pulled these off, seemingly. Now, these are just images, we don't have them in hand yet, but their approach to them is even more is fan service-y the right word, or in support of fans of maybe just Thundercats and not wanting crossover figures than the MOTU TMNT crossover has been, even though those figures are a ton of fun. So I was like, well, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it here on the channel. I'm sure we'll talk about it on the main stream on Sunday night, but I figured let's do an impromptu show. I'm stuck inside the house because we had a snowstorm in Raleigh. So what better place to talk about these toys than with you all? Let's say hello to everybody in the chat right now. We got Shiny Plastic People, Gatey's Toys, Ian is here, Patrick Gerard, J Mac, Matt Bush, want them now. Black Phoenix, yo, I'm so excited. Damian Johnson, Caveman, Mecha Man Blade, Eric Elliman, J Mac, I'll do Mecha Man, but we got Joey Curell says he's all in. And I think it's going to be the case for a lot of people here. We've got Texas Toy Hunter, Nick Dillinger is here, Tony Taponi, John Upstone from the United Kingdom. That's the benefit of doing a midday stream, is our UK friends or our European friends can play along more often as well. Okay. So these are the images dropped today. Taylor Battle wrote an article in the Toy Book or toybook.com showcasing these figures. And right away, I think the thing, and can we make it bigger? I wish there was like a zoom option here for these pictures. But what's so cool about them is they're crossover, right? But it looks like it's coming with accessories that can make the crossover figure look more just like the character that we know and love. So in the case here for Mum-Ra, who has this kind of Skeletor Mum-Ra crossover, which makes sense, right? It's the baddies on both sides. But you're not just stuck with the Skeletor Mum-Ra crossover. You can also, I assume, flip the wings, trade out the loincloth for a tunic, and replace the head. And now you've got a figure that looks way more like Mum-Ra. And and this is a deluxe figure, so the Evil Awakens Skelra combo figure is $30. But for $30, you get two looks for these characters, including a more classic look. I think this makes it almost a must-buy if you're a Thundercats fan. I've been looking for a Thundercats Origins figure. And then the Lino and Cheetara are in the $20 camp, right? So they're being priced similar to a MOTU Origins figure. And again, you can swap out, in this case for Lino, his shins for, the furry ones for the more show accurate shins. And then it looks like it has a belt, which will swap out here with the tunic or loincloth that he has. And then I assume you can take off this harness, and then you'll just have swap out this little cuff link because it looks like it's outside of it, and just have a classic Lion-O. And how freaking cool is that? Like, this makes, I think this is what we were hoping the TMNT Origins MOTU crossover would be, but they're seemingly doing it with Thundercats. So who needs the 30, I'm sorry, Super 7, but who needs that 30-something dollar scaled down Ultimates version of Lion-O, and I can get a really nice Lion-O with modern articulation that looks like the classic Lino that we know and love, that we can also make look more MOTU stylized for $19.99. I think that's freaking awesome. And as people are pointing out in the chat, it's a slightly different buck. These look a little taller, a little leaner than the MOTU buck, which I actually prefer here as well, because maybe on the cartoon, or maybe they're just as muscly as MOTU, but MOTU always kind of like an extra muscly, almost like not even normal human proportions muscly. And the Thundercats figures aren't really that, or the characters aren't really that. So the fact that this is a wholly new tooled figure, I'm sure there's some carryover from MOTU Origins, but using the MOTU Origins buck system, but giving us a new slender look is freaking awesome. And this Cheetara looks phenomenal. But again, it looks like she has just her normal Cheetara, or her classic iconic Cheetara look underneath this armor. So you can take off that armor, you can swap out her fur boots for her more classic boots, and boom, you've got classic Cheetara. Like, it's perfect. It's perfect. And I'm kind of at a loss for words, where we're getting Thundercats Origins. Like, we're just straight up getting Thundercats Origins figures. And the fact they're throwing in all of these accessories to give us both the crossover look and their classic look, chef's kiss. That's freaking awesome. Like, I absolutely love it. And Tony Taponi, you know what? Maybe I am keeping the Cat Slayer now. And because that's how cool these look. And I guess critique I'll give on the toy book side is these image resolutions are not that great. They're kind of fuzzy. So we don't have like the crispiest of looks for the head sculpts and stuff, but in these kind of fuzzy look, I think the head sculpts look really nice. Cheetara looks like the 80s queen that she is. Like was it Katie's Toys had the blowout? I want the 80s blowout look. She looks awesome, which I'm not trying to knock Super 7 here. That Cheetara face, not so awesome. So again, for $20, you're getting an awesome looking Cheetara and an awesome looking Lion-O and an awesome looking Mumra for $30, $29.99. That's freaking awesome. Toy Arc has good pictures. So let's pull up Toy Arc. Let's pull up Toy Arc then real quick. If Toy Arc has better pictures. Oh yeah, there's a crispier. Did I get these pictures? I don't know if oh yeah, hold on. Oh, that's way nicer. Like, I think these look great, and there's all this detail on Cheetara's staff. And you have the small version that fits on her arm. She has a little gauntlet there to put that on, and then the full size boast the staff. I think that's great. I guess the Lino has these 3 little dots. But again, I think this tunic comes off and you swap out with this belt, and you swap out the shin guards here. It looks so good. And the Skelra, the Mumra Skeletor combo looks phenomenal. So no notes other than well done, the Mattel team behind this. So these are supposed to be coming out in April. And I think I'm all in. That skelly head is fire. I agree. Mamator. Flash, am I a MOTU collector now? Well, maybe just these. Hey, that's where they get you, Flash. That's where they get you. And then like Too Bad Lino doesn't have a short sword for the claw shield. If this thing does well, and I think it will, I don't see why you can't get that at some point in time. That Mumra needs a double neck guitar on fire. I love that. I love that. And yeah, let's look at the Battle Cat. I thought looked like a ton of fun. Do we have a picture of the Battle Cat? Yeah, there it is. Oh goodness, this Battle Cat is so much fun. And again, like we've like Thundercats and Masters of the Universe has always been kind of a not the same universe, but kind of playing in the same, sandbox, if you will. And so it's ripe for a crossover, even more so than Turtles, right? Even I think Turtles in and of itself, its toys were influenced so much so by Masters of the Universe. It's almost like the heir apparent to Masters of the Universe on the toy aisle for a lot of people. But like it fits perfectly. It fits perfectly together. Yeah, the small sword arms will come with Thunder Punch Lino. Yeah, right? Like I'm sure. I'm sure. Black Phoenix, I need that Battle Cat right now. I agree. It looks so cool. Like I love when a toy just gives you joy. And I think and this is what these look like they're gonna do. I think these look phenomenal. Yeah, why not? G.I. Joe. I mean, I think most toy collectors love Origins. Whether you're like a MOTU fan or not, if you're a MOTU fan, you really love Origins. But even if you're just a toy collector or a toy fan, Origins is such a sweet spot toy line that hits the retro nostalgia button well, but also just a good toy. It's just a really good toy. And so I think a lot of us that are fans of what Origins is, whether you're a MOTU fan or not, have wanted for a long time for other properties to kind of have the Origins effect. And the thing is, shockingly, no other toy company has really done Origins well, we've even on the past week Sunday live stream talked about getting more figures in Playmates attempted Origins-ish style toy line, but it falls short of what Origins is. And nobody else really. So if Mattel just wants to kind of take their Origins approach and keep getting licensing deals to take on other properties, Mattel, have at it. Have at it, because clearly it's resonating with fans, right? And I agree, Patrick. They feel like toys. Like they scratch a action figure collector itch, but also can be toys that kids can play with and have fun with. I think that's the beauty of Origins. And that's what's special about them, right? Oh, you got Flipboard too. Yeah, Flipboard is definitely of a similar style. I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I want all of them. I think this is first wave. This is wave one. I want all of them. I need every single one. Again, give me Origins for everything. And I agree, Mistletoe Playmates does need to actually jump in the water, not half-heart it. But that's kind of been Playmates' MO for anything that isn't a main retail line, right? Like if it's not supporting a movie or a TV show, they don't really go all the way in. Now, in the case of Mutant Mayhem, they went all in for that, right? Like this toy shelves are still well stocked for those figures. But in a new retro kind of figure, they're more like one-offs than actual full featured toy line. And that's a shame, because I think it would be cool if they, worked on that. Mondo should do all of these in 1/6. That'd be fun. It'd be expensive. It would be expensive. Hopefully this means Silverhawks and Tiger Sharks next. Oh man, Silverhawks would be great. Tiger Sharks even more so, just because Tiger Sharks are so expensive. So expensive. But yeah, Black Star. Like if they can do this, if they can somehow thread the needle of giving us an action figure that is both the classic look and the crossover, it's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk for a toy line that's trying to do this, right? Like if that's the path, if that's the way you got to go to get there, this is it. I think they've unlocked it. They've unlocked the Origins crossover approach. And now I'm going to go back to that with TMNT, right? Give us all the parts so we can just have a classic looking turtle, right? And so I think it'd be so cool, right? And I agree, Gatey's Toys. Yeah, they don't need to go too deep like Origins, 3 or 4 waves. Bob's your uncle, in and out. Skeleton War. There's just so much. There's so much you could do if they're willing to take this route. It seems like they're doing with Thundercats. Now I know not every IP is created equally, but clearly here they have put new tooling forward. They have created new crossover looks and given us the ability to get more classic looks, all in like one figure each. That is the secret recipe to success. Because if they can get Pirates of Dark Water, Cops, anything, and be in that sub $20 price point, game over. Like there's no, it's the perfect toy line. It's the perfect toy line. As well, and as JMac fairly points out, say for some, retailer exclusives that have not been easy to find. As long as you have to play the exclusive game too much, let's do it. And Mattel doesn't own Thundercats. They don't own Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So clearly, whoever is doing these licenses and stuff on the Mattel side can tap into this. Like, I really, really hope this line crushes so that it will be a success and it will be something that they can do with more IPs. So let's take a look at the blurb from Mattel. It is 5.5-inch scale, even though they look a little bit taller. I think it's because they're more slender. The Mummar looks taller than that. Retail is $29.99 and $19.99 with ship dates in April. And comicbook.com also had the details. JFX01, JFW93. Interesting little call signs there. But they're saying 5.5-inch scale on these. But damn, do they look good. They look so good. So I assume it's just a broad retail toy line. Which is great. It means no stress. No stress on trying to, find these things. I think where it could get squirrely for us is if they have some type of non-mainline character that they make a, retailer exclusive, aka Walmart exclusive, that becomes almost impossible to find. That's a pain in the ass. Jamie Vaughn, now I'm going to have to get He-Man to go with these. Nice one, Mattel. Well, I guess that's well played, right? If you're getting people to buy also into MOTU that hasn't before, now you got this whole shared universe. And if Mattel's trying to find a path to bring MOTU into more of a broad audience than it currently has, a very dedicated fan base, but it doesn't really go beyond that dedicated fan base. So this is I think the TMNT one probably did that, and I think this will as well. And I agree with Mint with card. No more Walmart exclusives. I don't think they have a choice. The thing you got to remember and I agree, exclusives suck. And and if you probably asked these main toy companies, the smaller toy companies, if they agree that they suck, they would agree. But unfortunately, in the United States, you only have 2 main big box retailers left for toys. And in order to get those toys on shelves, to have enough orders purchased to make this viable, you have to give them an exclusive. So it sucks, but unfortunately, that's how the business works. Because I, for a fact, know there has been some cool toy lines that we would have loved that got killed because Walmart or Target didn't want to buy them. And so it sucks. Exclusives suck, but that's part of the game, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, Snarf, like a Snarf Orko combo, a Snarf that isn't $55 and looks good. Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be so freaking cool. Yeah, Panther and Snarf. But again, the main guys, just hopefully those aren't Walmart exclusives. But yeah, let me put up a poll in the chat. Let's see what you all have to say. It seems really positive in the chat. How likely are I'm gonna say, are you? How likely are you to buy these new MOTU Thundercats crossovers? Not likely. Maybe. Very likely. All right. Let your thoughts be known in the chat. How likely are you to buy these new MOTU Thundercats crossovers? Not likely, maybe, very likely. Let your thoughts be known. Damien Johnson says, already got my pre-orders in. Well, there you go. If you're using Entertainment Earth, feel free to use Geek Dad as your code. And I think I'd get a percentage of the sale or whatever. Or don't. That's fine. Or use another of the many other awesome toy tubers and stuff that are out there. Use theirs. But if you want to use mine, it's Geek Dad. You guys had me at Origins Thundercats. Love that. Mega Man, babe. Neil Cox says, I think the second wave is rumored to be Panthro, Tigra, and a He-Man. I mean, damn. Save for a Snarf, you're pretty much there, which is great. Happy Butters Blast says, I think I'll wait until I see wave 2 and 3 to see if and how they do the kids and Snarf. Fair enough. Unless Honey takes the sale. Well, yeah, there was that whole thing with like influencers. I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to it, so I don't know what the deal is there. I will absolutely buy BCM Battle Cat Man, and I'm almost assured to get the others. Yes. That's what Cheetara's head was supposed to look like. Come on, Super 7. That's what I'm saying. For how much was that Cheetara? $55? And look at how nice this Cheetara looks for $19.99. And she comes with an alternate hair setup. And she can look at her MOTU crossover look and her classic look. Like, come on. Where are they available for pre-order? Let's see. I'm guessing the usual suspects, Entertainment Earth. I need to stand up because my back's starting to hurt. Yeah, the joys of getting older. Let's see. Thundercats. Calm down, Entertainment Earth. I'm just trying to search something. Thundercats. I'm not seeing it. Where are they showing up, folks? Is it Big Bad Toy Store? Are the things in the pics swappable boots? Yes. So you have the classic fur boots, right? Like in the MOTU fur boots, and for here you can actually swap those out with her classic boots. and the swap the hair, and then this armor piece. You can see she has her classic tunic underneath it, and you can take this part off, and then she'll have her classic Cheetara look, which is dope. Quick read on the Honey copy pasted their own info into influencer affiliates, so it looked like they were bringing the sales, not the influencer. Damn, Honey, that's effed up. Gage, there's no way I don't get these. And yeah, maybe Mint with Card says they don't have to double up on all of them. If Super 7 wants their 5.5 Thundercats to survive, they better go deep to fill these out. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about the Super 7 5.5 inch. I don't like to be dramatic or whatever. Maybe some people think I do, but I don't. I'm not trying to be hyperbolic when I say this, but if these get the most of the core characters, I don't see how the Super 7 5.5 line is DOA, dead on arrival. Yeah, unless you went deep cut, Joey, like Mad Bubbler. Shiny Pass Chris says, I don't collect Thundercats, so I'm buying all of these. Legend Odinson says, not digging Lionel's hands. Looks like he's wearing yellow gloves. Is that? It's not too I mean, I guess it's a little yellower than. I'm trying to think of his classic look, but it's not too far from what it regularly looks like. J Max says they are fun and inexpensive, which are my 2 check marks I am in. And that's the beauty of Origins, right? It's what I think we've all loved about Origins is it's inexpensive relatively, and they're good figures. They're not premium. They're not like a Mafex or anything like that, but they got paint apps where you need them. They use the right plastic colors in other places where there isn't the paint, and the articulation is not over the top, but it's good articulation. And you throw in the ability to swap out parts easily, almost Lego style. It just makes it really, really good. Lino Ultimate Warrior Mask. Battle Cat and Mumra would be the only ones I'm interested in so far. Hey, that's still 2 out of 4. Kitchen gloves, yes. Palm of Love, Lino's soaking in it. Yeah, maybe it won't be as stark in the final figure, but yeah. Matt Bush says already got the first 3 5.5 Super 7. I'm curious, Matt Bush, since you have bought those figures, and anybody else that has bought, maybe it's another poll, but if you just want to say in the chat, that's fine. Anybody that's gotten the other that have gotten the Super 7 5.5 like MOTU style Thundercats figures, are you going to still get those, or are you just going to stop getting those and get these instead? Because I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see where you all land on that. Might Wing. I wonder if Mattel will release a competing Cat's Lair. If they do a Cat's Lair, it's game over for anything else because it'll be cheaper. Like if they do like a $75 Cat's Lair in the Origin style, whoo, I'm swooning. Like, oh, why couldn't they do a Thunder Tank? Because yeah, like why couldn't they? Because unlike Turtles, where you have plenty of van options, plenty of sewer layer, I mean, relatively, but you have sewer layer options, you have van options, both vintage and modern style. You don't have the same for Thundercats. Super 7's basically been the only people serving Thundercats fans over the past however many years. So Super 7 is more premium. It's more expensive, right? Secondary market price on that Cat's Lair is over $1,000. The Thunder Tank is I think selling for less than its original retail price, but it's still hundreds of dollars. So yeah, if Mattel can somehow pull off a Cat's Lair and like a Thunder Tank and all the core characters, if you're a Thundercats fan, it's got to be the best thing Thundercats toy collectors could want since the original toy line. Only on the fact that it would be so much cheaper. Like Super 7 stuff is great. Some of it not so much. But the price is so, I mean, it kind of excludes probably a large subset of Thundercats fans. So if they could do it, that would be really cool. It'd be really, really cool. Juan Hernandez says, I have the Super 7 5.5 and they're a ripoff. Matt Bush says, well, I have a compulsion on certain lines, so maybe you should get them anyway. At this price point, you could also army build Reptilians and Thunderians if they produce them. Battle Armor Dad says, Toy Habit Source says Tigra and Panther in Wave 2. Rodimus Toy Collector, greetings from Germany. Hello. Guten Tag. Love Germany. I assume Matt Hatter's excited. I'd be shocked if he hadn't made a video about it yet. Let's check his old YouTube channel then, real quick. Mad Hatter Reviews. Let's see. If it's not up, it'll be up soon. I know that much. Oh, yeah, there it is. There you go. Me ouch my wallet. Thundercats MOTU crossover reveals, baby. Yeah. I assume he's going to be very, very happy, very excited. Neil Hunter Hyde, Jace Rise, you were live. I'm probably going to skip the Thundercats crossover line, but I don't think it aired where I grew up. Could never find it on TV. I think the good thing, or maybe why Thundercats has such a broad amount of fans, is you had its original airing, and then like early days of Toonami, I think had Thundercats as well. So even my sisters who were born, into the 90s, they like Thundercats because that was on Toonami when they were watching Toonami or whatever, right? So Thundercats has this kind of multi-generational thing. I think, I could be wrong, but it's seemingly a multi-generational fan base, which is cool. Matt Hatter's next figure is Scalpor after watching the Pokemon Costco disaster. Woo, that was crazy. Yeah, Toonami in the late 90s. Yeah. So I do think Thundercats could have a broader fan base. All right, let's end the poll. We have over 100 votes into the poll. And again, the question was, how likely are you to buy these new MOTU Thundercats crossovers? And the ones you could select were very likely, maybe not likely. In last place, not likely with 16%. In second, maybe at 29%. And in first, very likely at 54%. Now, again, I know a lot of people that watch this channel are MOTU fans, MOTU Origins fans. So, if I'm CEO of Mattel or whatever, I wouldn't say like this is your target audience, this channel. But if you're pushing, that's well over 80%, at least interested in buying these, you did pretty good, pretty good on putting these together. And yeah, Thundercats does have a lot of international fans as well. Well, there's been a couple attempts at doing a new Thundercats cartoon. The first one, when what was that? What would we call that series? That one that was on Cartoon Network? That series was phenomenal. Like, if you haven't watched that show, it only lasted like a year. And it's a shame it didn't take on, but that show was phenomenal. 2011, yes. Check that show out. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, the Thundercats I probably not. But I've never watched it, so I don't want to sit here and say something's bad that I've never watched. I don't know. But that 2011 show was really, really good. So I would check that out. But again, just quickly going through these. It's Skelra. It's a Mumra Skeletor crossover. Looks fantastic. What are we calling this? Battle Man? Battle Cat Man? I think is so cool. It reminds me of Castle Grayskull Man from the MOTU Classics line, that fan submission one. And it's so much fun. And it even has like the 2000X claws thing going on. This is really cool. And it fits in perfectly because Thundercats are feline humanoid creatures. So your Battle Cat is now a Thundercat. It's cool. It's really, really cool. And I could see this being, if you're not a Thundercats fan, you're gonna get this figure because it just looks really, really good. And then you've got Cheetara with a phenomenal face sculpt when compared to the Super 7 one. And again, accessories to make her look like her crossover event look as well as her classic look. Lion-O, again, swappable parts to get classic look, and then this crossover look. And then, yeah, the Skull Ra, which also lets you have the classic Mumra look. It's great. It's great. No notes. And by the response from our chat, it looks like you all agree as well. And Mattel, if y'all do play sets and vehicles, even just a few, the legend status would be incredible. It would be incredible. And if this does well enough, I hope that this is your template. This is your blueprint to go and get other IPs and partner up with. Because if you can do both a classic look and the crossover look for $19.99, it's over. It's over. But I know it's not gonna be for everybody. Hambone says, big no for me. But we got a lot of big, gigantic yes for me, huge yes for me. Again, was it 54 plus 19? Whatever we had, 50. Not carry the 2. 70. No, it's 29%. I forget what was the poll. I forget now what it was. It was a lot. Let's see, 54 plus 29. 83% of you were interested in the line, at least, with 54% saying very likely to buy. So clearly y'all are excited about it. Or at least maybe you might cherry pick it. So that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. And unlike TMNT, where I could see why they didn't want to do the Playsets vehicles, because Playmates is currently putting those out on shelves. That's not the case for Thundercats. You have the opportunity to be a hero here, Mattel, for Thundercats fans. Make it. Make it. And that's it. That's all I got to say. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out on this impromptu live stream. It's always fun when a new toy line gets revealed and makes us go like, oh my God. And Mattel, you've done so here with our first images of the MOTU Thundercats toy line. I'm sure we'll have more to say about it on this weekend's live stream. So hit subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss any of it here on Geek Dad Life. And if you haven't checked it out, check out the latest episode of the Toy Geeks podcast with Dan Larson. We had special guest Owen Ertling to talk about the first or the figures of 1989 G.I. Joe Real American Hero. It was a ton of fun. Check that out if you haven't done that yet. And I'm sure Mad Hatter's done a video on this. All of our friends, I'm sure Toy Habits, Mega J, like everybody's going to do a video about it. So if you want to talk about this more, go check out their videos. And thank you all. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe. And until next time, hasta luego and goodbye. Have a good day, everybody.